Morning. It's Wednesday, August 5th. And this thing with TikTok is really getting out of hand. It seems like the president wants Microsoft to buy TikTok. And Microsoft, it looks like it's perfectly willing to buy TikTok. And they're in some kind of negotiations going forward. And TikTok right now is valued at about $75 billion. Although the numbers that I heard tossed around before were like $50 billion. But here's a thing that cropped up in the last couple of days that really throws what I consider a monkey wrench into the deal, okay? The president feels that the U.S. Treasury should get a cut of the TikTok deal. And in his words, he's looking for a big cut, whatever that means. Now, I have never heard of the government getting a cut of any deal, any private deal, even though if they recommended it or whatever. So I don't know why this president believes that the Treasury should get a cut. Is he saying that if the Treasury doesn't get a cut, he's going to ban the company even if Microsoft buys it? Seems to me that's sort of like a form of blackmail. And I'm not the only person that feels that way. And he also warned that if the deal wasn't made by September 15th, he was going to ban the app. So that looks even more like blackmail. Now, ByteDance, which owns TikTok, now understands the threat that they're under, because the president is really not only after ByteDance, he is after all Chinese technology companies, because he feels they're a threat to national security. So this is a very unusual situation which we haven't seen before. Now, to me, this looks like a continuation of the tariff policy, because I don't think the tariffs worked that well against the Chinese. And now he's adding the possibility of banning all of their tech organizations and all of the apps. And believe me, there are hundreds of apps out there that have been developed by the Chinese. So this is turning into a very sticky diplomatic situation. And I say that because recently the president declared nobody else would ever even think about it. But that's the way I think, and I think it's very fair that we should get a big cut. And of course, the Chinese news services are calling this the theft of Chinese technology. You're stealing a Chinese technology company. And it warned in an editorial that China has plenty of ways to respond if the U.S. carries out its planned smash and grab operation. So we are escalating an economic war with China. And they're only too happy to fight back, because as everybody knows, they have aspirations to become the number one economy in the world. And right now, if you look closely at it, I think they're ahead of us in the game. And then the MIT Technology Review, which is a magazine that's owned by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, said that Trump's comments were pretty astonishing. And other areas have been reporting that threatening a ban which pushes down the price, then saying we should get a cut of the deal, is not exactly cricket. And then just last week, we had congressional committee looking into the behavior of the big tech companies, claiming they were too large, and there was antitrust investigation about the practices of the large tech companies. And now we have the president trying to make one of those large tech companies larger. So why can't we get our act together? Why isn't everybody going in the same direction, so to speak? Or is this just because it's Chinese? If it was a British company or something else, maybe we wouldn't even be trying to do anything like this. Now, we know that the Chinese have behaved improperly in lots of cases. and we know their business practices are not what I would call kosher. But this whole thing is getting out of hand, in my opinion. There's got to be a better way to handle this than threats. Anyhow, this is a very, very bizarre situation. I think it was good that Trump shifted his position to giving approval to Microsoft taking over the Chinese tech company. Because I believe that they are stealing information. I believe that a lot of these applications are providing data to the Chinese government because that's the law in China. Any information that is gathered by their tech companies is supposed to be turned over to the government. So I believe all of that. But I believe that we should be handling this thing much differently than Trump does. He should be supporting this deal for the right reasons. If there's a technology issue, a security issue, he should be supporting that. But he shouldn't be looking for a cut. This is not a real estate deal. He shouldn't be looking for a cut. It's ridiculous for him to make a statement like that. He should have more brains than that. There's nobody in their right mind would agree to a deal like this. So while he does some good things, he manages to screw them up by doing some terrible things behind it. In his case, it's all about the money. It's the money, it's the money, it's the money. Just like opening up the schools because of the economy is failing. So a couple of million kids die. What's that? We got to make the money. We got to open the schools. We got to open the factories. We got to pay people less money so they go back to work. This all fits into the same persona that he has shown for the past couple of months at least. So I'm not surprised at his action. I'm surprised that maybe his advisors can't do anything with him. But in any event, we'll see how it all turns out in a little while, a couple of days, maybe a month. And we'll hope it turns out for the best. So I will see you tomorrow.